Okay, let's start. Hello all, welcome to this 7th webinar about RhinoGold 5. As always, my name is Xavier Rofes, Sales and Marketing Manager of RhinoGold. It's always good to be here with all of you. Today we're about 30 people in this webinar. Remind you that we are recording this webinar, so after the webinar we will publish this on Vimeo on YouTube, so you will be able to watch it as many times as possible. Before starting with the webinar, as always, let me show the next events we are attending or we are organizing next week or next month. It's going to be the digital event in London next week, April 14th, where we are going to show the news of RhinoGold 5. The same, actually tomorrow, Schindler Technologies, our local agent in Canada, is offering a free hands-on session of RhinoGold 5. It's a good chance to see the news of RhinoGold 5 at no cost. If you are in Canada, well, if you are in Ontario, actually, it's a good chance to see it. Also in Brazil, next week we have a complete training from beginner to advanced with our trainer Solução 3D by Eliana Rossetti. And also we are going to organize another training here at our headquarters in Barcelona. This is already in May, but it's good if you are planning to come to Barcelona, you know that you have this opportunity to have this advanced training. I see there is a mistake on the PowerPoint. The date actually it's from 8th to 10th. So there are so many ways to learn RhinoGold. Pedro, good afternoon. How are you today? Feeling good?
Hello, Xavi. Hello, all the attendees. As always, it's a pleasure to be here and to show RhinoGold to everyone. Thanks everybody for attending.
Thank you, Pedro. Today we have again our workmate Enrique Molino. Hi, Enrique.
Hello, Xavi.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, Enrique. Very good, very good. We missed you last week.
Yeah, I couldn't be here.
No problem. Okay, let's move forward. As always, Enrique and myself, we will be in the chat. If you have any technical question, just write us and we will be giving you the best answer we can. So as always, we are TDM Solutions based in Barcelona, in Spain. We are developers of Rhino plugins such as RhinoGold and RhinoNest, RhinoBoss, Cleyo, RhinoShoe. We have 6, 7 no already. We have a lot of products. Our main product is RhinoGold. We believe it's the preferred software for jewelry design and manufacturing. The idea is with RhinoGold is to offer an easy to use CAD software to create your jewelry creations. As I say every single webinar, CAD is the technology of today, and our responsibility here in TDM Solutions is to offer you the best CAD possible for jewelry, and it happens to be RhinoGold. And this series of webinars are just to show you how easy and cost effectively is to create your jewelry in RhinoGold. Today we're going to create a class ring, as you can see here in the screen. We title it Back to School. It's kind of tricky. Last week our webinar was easy. I think we made it in like 20-25 minutes. I believe this one will take the whole hour, but definitely it's a good webinar to learn a lot of tips and tricks of the 3D, of this general 3D. What do you think, Pedro?
I think it's a great exercise, a great model to make this webinar. I believe we will see lots of tricks that will be useful for sure inside RhinoGold. Let's see.
Let's see, absolutely. So the main tools we are going to see today, it's the Signet ring tool, the project, Texon curve, offset surface, milgrain, Boolean operations, among two others, because of course we are going to see the Gem Studio, we're going to see the Bezel Studio, and at the end, of course, we'll try, if we have time, make the photorealistic image to publish on websites, magazines, anywhere you want. As always, please keep asking anything that you need, anything, okay? The webinar is meant to learn. So if there is anything that you don't know, please ask anytime. Here we are 3 guys helping you this next hour. That's it from my side. Now it's all about Pedro. Pedro, are you ready to start modeling?
Yes. Let's start with our model. So this week webinar is this class ring. Let me just open RhinoGold and let's start with this model. So the first step, as always, I recommend to start or with a ring size or with a central gem. In this case, I'm going to start with the central gem. So let's go to Gems tab, and then with the Gem Studio tool, we can define the main gem. So in this case, we will use Cushion Gem Cut. So as you can see under Gem Studio, we can easily select the gem cut we want to use. And then, of course, we must select the gem, so Cushion. And then we just need to define the size. So let's do it with 6 millimeters. And then the material, of course, in this case, well, I can change for any other material. Let's use Ruby and click OK to add the gem to the document. So the first step, the gem, is done. Now the next step, I'm going to define the ring size and the ring parameters. So I'm going to use under the Jewelry tab the Signet ring tool. So the idea is to define with the Signet ring the shape we want to create. Of course, the ring size, in this case, let's use size number 18, and then adjust all the parameters. So instead of using a round shape in the top, I want to use a shape like the Cushion Gem Cut. So what I'm going to do is to get under the Gems tab to use the Extract Gem Curve. So this tool will allow me to extract the profile curve from this gem. So now I want to use this curve as my top shape for the Signet ring. So I just click in Add, and I will define the name. So I can define Cushion Curve. Okay. And as you can see, automatically it will adapt the ring size, so in this case the ring top shape, to the curve we defined. So the next step now is to define all the parameters. So I'm going to define the bottom with 8 millimeters. I'm going to define the front total 8 with 4 millimeters. I'm using the parameters in the side panel. I can also define the side with 2 millimeters. And of course the bottom, let's use 1.4, looks good. In the top maybe a little bit less, 3 millimeters, I believe it's enough, 3.2. And of course in the top view we have the option to define the side shape. So instead of the straight line, I'm going to use the profile number 5, and as you can see it will adjust the size, the ring shape with this side curve. So this is the idea. We have the ring defined. I just need to click OK to add the ring to the document. So this will be the base I'm going to use to define my my ring, and now the next step, I'm going to move the gem to the top of the ring. So I select the gem and the curve, and in the front view, using the gumball, and in this case I'm going to use the grid snap option. So I just use the gumball to move the gem exactly where I need. So I will define exactly in here. And now back to the perspective. What I'm going to do is first to remove the top surface. So this flat surface in the top, I will change it for different shape. So what I'm going to do is under the modeling tab, with under the cap submenu, we have the extract surface tool. So the idea is we select this tool, extract surface. We need to select the surface to extract and make sure you are using copy no. So I don't want to copy, I want really to extract this one. So I select the surface, I press enter, and now I can delete directly in the keyboard to delete my surface. So as you can see, now I have my ring surface is open. What I need now is to create another surface. But before, in the top view, I'm going to select this curve, and I'm going to create a curve between these two. So the idea is using the transform tool, under the transform tab, I'm going to use the scale 2D, so scale to direction, and make sure in the command line we are using the copy option yes. So I start from the center and I create a curve in, probably without grid snap, just in the middle, so it will be here. Looks good. Enter. So now in the perspective we have another curve, and I'm going to move this curve. So let's go to the front view. I'm going to move this curve to the same height as the top gem surface. So now the idea I can see in the perspective, if I need to scale a little bit, I can scale easily with the gumball, just a small detail. And now I want to create a surface using this curve. So the idea is under the modeling tab with the loft surface tool, so this tool, I select the curves to loft. So the first one is the edge, the second one is this curve, and the third one is the curve around the gem. So I select these three curves, I press enter, and as you can see I have here the direction of the curves and the starting point. So I press enter again, and I have this surface. Remember, by default it can be as normal, so it will be a round surface, but we can easily define I want straight sections and preview. So this is the shape I'm looking for. After this I click OK to add this surface, and the next step now, I'm going to hide the gem to show what I'm going to do. So select the gem, hide, remember in here press shift to show this viewport toolbar. And now I want to use this curve to create a planar surface. So under the edge submenu we have planar surface, and with the curve selected I create my surface. So what I need now is to join all this surface in a single closed solid. So I select this one, this one, this one, and under the drawing tab with the join tool to join all these ones in a closed polished surface. As you can see in the side panel, we have this as a closed solid. So the next step, I will start defining in the right view the the model, in this case, the curves I want to use in this side part of the ring. So let's use the Smart Curve tool under the Drawing tab, and I'm going to use the option Symmetry Vertical. So I activate this option in the command line, and also I will say Closed Curve. So now I can define easily the curve I want to use. So this will be the idea. The shape of the curve, let me select the curve. As you can see, it's here. I can scale a little bit or adjust if I want, maybe in this direction, and looks good already. So I have this curve, and now I want also to put some letters inside this curve. So the workflow will be, I'm defining this curve in the C-plane, and then I will project to the surface. So the idea, it's in the right view to define everything I will need. So now I will use text, and I will define first test. I will define RhinoGold, and let me just, I need to adjust, let me undo the size. So what I'm going to do is repeat this step. So RhinoGold, and the size I will use, let's try 1.8. Also make sure in these text options we can generate curves, we can generate surfaces, solids. So I'm going to group them, and I will use the Arial and Bolt and 1.8 millimeters 8. So when I click OK, I can define my text curves in here. Okay, and now the next one, I'm going to define another text. So now I will define university. Of course, you can customize this exactly as you need. This is just a sample of the workflow we recommend. You can use your own letters. So this is just to make sure it's possible to do anything. So I'm going to place the letters under RhinoGold. Remember, any question, use the chat. And finally, the last one, the text, I will define 3D. So in here, maybe 3 millimeters. Let's try. Looks good. So I will place this in this part. Okay, perfect. So I have the side curves I want to use. These are the curves, and now I just need to project these curves to this surface. So what I'm going to do is to make sure I'm in the right view, and now under the modeling tab we have the project tool. So under the project tool we just click, and we need to select the curves, of course, and then the surface to project. So in this case, this outside surface. I press enter, and now let's take a look to the results. It will project all the object, all the curves to the entire object, as you can see also in this inside surface. So now what I'm going to do is to deselect the ones I want to keep, and then I will delete the ones I don't want. So in this side I can't use, it's the wrong direction, so I will only keep this side. So Control to deselect these curves. Remember, we can use Control but dragging a window, it's faster. And now I deselect the ones I want to keep. So from this side everything is done, and now with delete from the keyboard I can delete the others. I don't need. And I'm going to group these ones and change to a different layer. So I will call this layer curves, and I will change object layer. So right click and choose the option change object layer. Then I just need to turn off this option, this layer, and it will be hidden. So now I have these curves. Let me just to be easier to group them, to be easier for the selection. I group these curves, and the next step I'm going to create, in this case, what I'm going to explain the process before to understand the next step. I'm going to create a surface from all these curves to then generate a solid from this surface and make the Boolean operation. So now to do it, to make sure I'm using exactly the same surface, I'm going to the Modeling tab, and once again I'm going to use the tool Extract Surface. Under the Cap submenu we have the Extract Surface tool, and in here now I will define the option under the command line Copy Yes. So I want to keep the ring exactly as it is, a closed solid, but I want to copy this outside surface. So I copy it, enter, and now I can select the ring and hide the ring. So I just have my curves and my surface. So now the idea is to cut this surface using this curve. So under the Drawing tab with the Trim tool, I just first need to select the cutting object, so will be all these curves except the surface, and then I press enter and I need to define the objects to trim. So I will start with the outside surface, and then I will cut this part, this part, this part, each letter. So just click inside the part you want to cut, and as you can see, now I cut my letters. This is important. As you can see in here, it was the seam of the surface, so it means that was the beginning and the end of the surface. When we trim it, now we have two different surfaces. That's why in here we need to pay attention to make sure we cut all the parts. So the same, I cut all the parts, all the letters. I just click inside. As you can see, it's very easy. And after this, let's just finish almost the H and the R. Okay, and as you can see in here, I need also to cut this part. So this is the idea. Everything looks good. I press enter in the end, and now I have my surface where I'm going to select all of them. As you can see, the inside parts from the letters now are a different surface. I need to select all. First I will join, and then I will group. So join to make sure this part is joined with this with this, but then group to each time I need to select, I just select this, don't need to select this part or the inside the O or the D. So this is the idea, just to be easier the selection. So now the next step, I'm going to show my ring again. I'm going to select, well, the curves, in this case only these ones, and I'm going to change object layer. So change object layer, and now I have this surface, and to create a solid from this surface and to keep exactly the same orientation, the same reference, I'm going to the Modeling tab, and I'm going to use the Offset Surface tool. So Offset under the Modeling tab, as you can see, the direction, it's flipped. I want inside direction. I want to create a cutting object. So I will flip all, and I will make sure this is what I need. I want to create offset distance with 0.4 millimeters and make sure I'm creating a solid. So solid yes, and press enter. So now it's generating my solid. As you can see, I will hide this to show you. I will hide the ring. I've created this as a solid, so to be my cutting object. So this is the idea. I have my cutting object. What I'm going to do now is to make the same object in the other side, but the workflow is the same. In case you want to apply different objects in both parts of the ring, it's exactly the same process. In this case, I'm just going to create the same. Just one thing, if I create a mirror or a symmetry, it will be the opposite direction, the letters. So with letters, it's not recommendable to do it. What I'm going to use is the rotate tool. So the objects to rotate, it's my cutting object. Copy, I will say in the command line, the option copy, yes, and then I start rotating from the center, so grid snap on. I start rotating from here to here. So remember, copy option yes, and press enter. So now we have both sides the cutting object, and now I want to, let me change to render it, I want to hollow my ring. So this is a solid ring. I need to hollow it. So Jewelry tab, the hollow ring tool. I just need to select the surface to remove. So it will be the inside surface, press enter. And now I just need to define all the parameters. In this case, I want to define, this is the main area, this central area, it's the area to hollow, then the transition area, and finally the solid part. In the side panel, we can define the thickness. In this case, I want to use 1.2 millimeters, and I preview the results. So now we have 1.2 millimeters thickness, the ring is hollow, and I just check in here to add the changes. Let me define a material just to show. Now, as you can see, we have this cutting object sharing the same surface. Usually we call these coplanar surfaces, and as most of you probably know, Rhino has some difficult with coplanar faces. So to make Boolean operations, we should avoid this. To avoid it, we can use, for instance, under the modeling tab, just the shake objects tool, or in this case, what I'm going to do is just enable the gumball, and using the gumball, I will scale a little bit, but just really a little bit. In this case, with the snap, grid snap activated, it's not good, so I will undo and disable the grid snap. And now I will scale just a little bit, just to make sure it won't be a coplanar face. So as you can see, now we have this as we can see also in here there is a little bit which can be trouble at the time to make the Boolean, so I will avoid it, just scale a little bit more, and I'm sure I will avoid these coplanar surface problems when making the Boolean. So I have my cutting object defined, and now I just need to remove it from the ring. So Boolean tool, I define Boolean difference, first object to keep, which is the ring, and second object, the objects to remove, in this case, this cutting object. So I just preview. Let's take a look. So it's calculating. Okay, And as you can see, the Boolean was successful done. So now I just need to click OK. And let me change display mode to see better. We have the resisted area. We just keep the letters. So this is the idea. So now I still need to create, this is a closed ring in the top. I still need to create the stone seed, the hole for the gem. And to do it, I'm going to use the normal cutter tool. So Jury tab, Cutter Studio tool, I select the gem, and now as you can see I create my cutting object. In this one I just want to make sure it's because I'm going to create a bezel, so the idea will be to scale a little bit more, because then I will use the bezel to make the stone setting. So I will scale, total scale, or maybe just in here a little bit more. And now I'm sure I'm cutting my ring in the under the gem. So I create my cutting object, and now once again just the modeling tab, Boolean tool, Boolean difference option. I select the object to keep, the ring, and then the object to remove, the cutter. I preview, and as you can see we have successfully removed this part. I just click OK to remove the cutter from the ring. So the next step will be to create a bezel to this central gem. So let me change the display mode. Now in this step what I'm going to do is, under the Jewelry tab, with the Bezel Studio tool, I select the gem where I want to apply the bezel. So I select this gem, I press enter, and as you can see I have a default bezel with the default parameters. I will just adjust the parameters exactly as I need. So in this case I will define 0.5 millimeters in the top thickness, the 8 I will also reduce a little bit more, and the same in here, total 8 I will use just enough, because in here I don't need too much. As you can see in this ring I don't need so much, so I just define the 8 as I need. I can adjust these point gumballs. Remember, if you use the shift from the keyboard it will activate the ortho, and the same in here. So I can adjust easily the shape of the bezel exactly as I need, and probably in here I can reduce a little bit more, and looks good. So I just click OK, and I add my bezel to the document. So this is the idea. I have my bezel for the central gem. I have I can hide the gem just to show you how it is inside, ready to make the stone setting. And now I'm going to create first the milgrain. I can apply now the milgrain to make sure I have space, because I want to make also some letters in this top area of the ring. So what I'm going to use now first is the milgrain tool. So under the Jewelry tab with the milgrain, I need to define the curves I want to apply the milgrain. So the first curve is this one. Actually can be the curve or the edge, and also this one. So I use these curves, and remember I need to adjust the parameters. So in this case radius from the sphere from the milgrain, and overlapping distance looks good. Just click OK to add the milgrain to the document. So it's adding the milgrain to the document, as you can see. And now to apply the top curves, let me change the display mode just to see what kind of surface we have in here. So I want to create a curve to make sure I will apply the letters on the curve, the text on the curve. So let's go to the drawing tab, and before I'm going to the modeling tab just to get the curves from the surface. So as you probably remember from other webinar sessions, we will use the extract isocurves tool. So I need to define, as we can see in the command line, I need to define the surface for isocurve extraction. So let's start with this one. And as you can see, the direction of the curve is not the direction I want to use. So I want to use the other direction. So I just need to define toggle. So the idea is to change the direction. Also, we can use, instead of V, use U. So this is just changing the direction. And now to make sure I will use it from the midpoint, I will enable the mid in the OSNAP. So in here, as you can see, in the mid, I'm sure I'm using the midpoint. So now we have this curve, and I will do exactly the same for this inside surface. So once again, what I'm going to do is duplicate edge submenu, extract isocurves, I define the surface, and now I will use once again the midpoint. So as you can see, I have two curves extracted, and the next step is, let me change the display mode. I will place some letters along this curve. So the idea is drawing tab, text on curve tool, and first we need to define the curve. So let's start with this outside curve. We can see here the text. We cannot see it because it's flat, and the surface, we have a small inclination. So first, to make sure, I will just define the angle as 15 degrees. So now we can see the letters exactly as we need. So after this, I'm going to define the text I want to use. So I want to use RhinoGold. I can make it bold, so I select and make it bold. Also, RhinoGold University, and now I need to define the text size, all these parameters. So let's start with this parameter, RhinoGold. As you can see, now the text is adapting to the curve, so it's following the curve. Let's see, text size, let's use 3.8, 4 millimeters. I believe it's more than enough. Maybe 3.8, it's more than enough. And now I will adjust my space and everything. So first, this will be the start point, and this will be the end point from the text. So to make sure I'm using it as I want, I'm going to use this justification. So justify, this option allows us to adapt all the text to divide all the letters along the curve. So in this case, I also want to use one option, which is before I'm going to use this. Ifan 2015. Let me just change the keyboard. Sorry. So, okay, and now I will place Ifan and Ifan again. So the idea now, I will just need to adjust this distance looks good. Maybe reduce a little bit the letters, and also in here even, and maybe one space more, one space more. I still believe we have big letters that we need. Okay, I believe now it's better. I can place like this. Of course, we can adjust using all the resources we have. Go to the top view to make sure it's exactly as you need. So now the next step, I'm going to define, I want to create not only curves but solids to make my letters. So I'm going to use the option both sides, and the extrusion distance I'm going to define 0.2 millimeters or 0.25, enter, and remember it will be 0.25 for each side. So now, as you can see, I have my letters, everything exactly as I define it. So if I move, it will start calculating again, but this is the result I'm looking for, and I just click OK to add these letters to the document. So as you can see, this is really easy, and I will follow exactly the same process, the same workflow to add to the inside curve. So once again, text on curve. I define the curve as this one. No, in this case, none of these. I zoom in to make sure I select the correct curve. I adjust the angle as we did before. And now I will define in here exactly the same. So let's use now, for instance, 3D jewelry software. Okay, and now I will define bold. I will also define justification along all this curve, and start defining the size. So let me use, okay, I believe it's enough like this. I can adjust even better. Something like this looks good. Remember, I can define more space in here between letters, also in here. So it looks good. And now the last parameter I need to adjust is the extrusion. So now I'm going to define.
Pedro?
Yes, let me know, Xavi. What do you think?
No, just one question Klaus asked, and
Okay.
it's possible to do it. We just didn't show it here, but he's asking if it's possible to change the space between the letters. And as you can see on the panel, on the right panel, there is this icon AB.
Yes. So this is the idea. Using this parameter, we define the distance between letters. So we can define 0.2, 0.3, any distance we want. Just remember, if we apply the distance just justify, which means it will divide the number of all the text along the curve, it will do it automatically, so won't allow us to define the distance. If we don't use this parameter, we can define any distance we want. So remember, this is the parameter we need to define the distance between letters.
Thank you very much, Pedro.
You're welcome.
Sorry to bother you.
No problem. No problem. So
muted. Unmuted.
Let's move on, and we defined everything. So the text, along this curve and click, of course, the extrusion option. I define it 0.2 millimeters for both sides. Just one detail. I define both sides just to make sure I avoid the coplanar faces. So I want to make a Boolean union between these letters. And if I make both sides, let's see here, probably we can see it better, or maybe with ghosted display mode, we see that we have part of the letter inside of the ring. So this is good to make the Boolean operation. That's why I keep both sides. So remember, it's 0.2 to the top and 0.2 to the bottom direction. So after this, it's done. I just click OK. And as you can see, let me change the display mode. We have the letters, apply it along these curves. Let me middle mouse button and select curves. So I will select all these curves and change to the layer curves. So change object layer. And now everything is defined. So what I need to do now is to make the Boolean operations. So as you know, as we have done before, Boolean option, we define Boolean union. So in this case Boolean union, I need to select all the objects I want to make the Boolean operation. I select the ring and all the letters. I preview. So it's calculating the results. Okay, so as you can see, done. We have make it the Boolean, so this is a single part. Also we can do it with the Bezel. Once again, Boolean, preview. So this is the idea. I would say that this is just to show the workflow. Of course, we project in here our own text. It could be anything. It could be also Rhino embossed relief, for instance. We can do anything. So in the side part of the ring, also the same workflow if we want to project something in the side or in the front view, and in the front view. So this is just to show the workflow, what is possible to do. And I believe this is a good exercise. Actually, now to make the render, for instance, I will make one detail. So if I want to in the render to look that this bottom surface, this surface in the recessed area, to look a different finish. Of course, when we are going to printing and to casting, this will be all the same object. But to represent different types of finishing process, we can easily just under the modeling tab, we can extract this surface just for render. So I just extract, copy, I would say no, so I will extract this part, also this part, just to apply a different material and to make the render better. So I can apply different materials. So this one, I extract all these surfaces. So I will do also in here. I believe I don't miss any. I hope not, but if in case we can repeat this operation, I will do the same to the other side. So select the surfaces and also this one and this one, and in here the same, and in here the same. So I select all, press enter, and once again I join the ones I can and I group all of them to be easier for the selection. So now I can apply. So I can select all the objects, and then I will remove from the selection this surface, both, and the gem. So I will apply the material to all this selection. So to make the render, let's go to Render tab, Render Studio icon to open the Render Studio in the side panel. And now I'm going to start with the metal. So let's use metal sandblast. I'm going to use yellow gold. Let's change the display mode to render just to make sure everything, the material is the one we define it. The gem I can apply, for instance, let's keep the ruby, so ruby gem. So remember, when we are on the Render Studio side panel, we are applying Arion materials. So these materials are good for rendering. We cannot get the weight using this material. This is just for rendering. And this part, for instance, if I want to make it dark or could be other metal, but let me use, for instance, black plastic just to show a different option we have to the render. So I apply all the materials exactly as I need. Also remember, I add the ground in here easily, and we have the ground folder in here. We can easily drag and drop. Let's use the lead material, and now I will define the render. So as always, render resolution, define the position. Looks good. And now I just click on render. Let's see the results. So it's calculating. As you can see in the beginning, we have the render with it's too much noise in the render, but it's cleaning. Each pass, it's cleaning more and more. And in the end, we will have a high quality image. So I apply also this sandblast gold. We could play a little bit with the materials, but looks good. Let me wait just a little bit more to define the to see the results a little bit better, but this is the idea. Remember, use the chat to make all the questions you have.
No, Pedro, no, come on. They have been asking a lot. That you know. No, of course not. Keep asking.
Okay.
Well, at the end, actually, you did it on time.
Yeah, actually, it was. I was expecting that probably in this one we could take a little bit more time, but it went well. So good news.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, there were many questions. I hope we answered them correctly. But
I'm
of
sure.
course, we will dedicate the next 5-10 minutes for more questions while we are waiting for the render. Let me talk you about pricing. There is no need to go to the PowerPoint. I have this.
It's just.
It's okay. You can. Okay, no problem.
Okay. So I believe it's here. Okay.
So as always, let me talk 2 minutes about pricing. For those who are new in RhinoGold, the price of getting a new license is $29.90 euros or US dollars, depending on your location. If you are a Rhino 5 user, you can get RhinoGold for just $19.95, and even cheaper if you have a previous version of RhinoGold, which to get the latest RhinoGold 5, it's $8.95. It's looking at what RhinoGold 5 is capable of, I believe it's an affordable price. Actually, you know what, guys? If you are ready to purchase, email me to info@tdmsolutions.com, and actually I will make you a discount for today. What do you think? But remember to mail me within the next 2 hours, and I will definitely make you a good offer. So besides that, you can always contact our local reseller on rhinogold.com/dealers. And if you don't email me within the next 2 hours, then you can go anytime to rhinogold.com/buy and put your RhinoGold at the standard price. But if you see what you like, email me as soon as possible. It's a good chance. What else? Next week, we are going to model this raspberry. And then OneNote. It's not going to be on Tuesday because we are going to be in London. So it's going to be on Wednesday, same hour, but next day. Okay, you can always register for free on rhinogold.com/webinars, and hope to see you next week. Of course, thank you very much, Pedro, for your webinar.
No, thank you, and thanks all the attendees. It's very good to know that people it's attending all webinars, and the feedback is really good. So it makes sense for us to keep using this system. These webinars are really good for us to show all the RhinoGold features. So thanks everybody.
And thank you, Enrique, for staying today with us.
You're welcome. Always is a pleasure to learn something from Pedro.
Come on, Enrique, you are the master of RhinoGold. We all know that.
No, I don't.
Anyway, guys, thank you all. Thank you for attending the webinar today. Hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Muted.